From the paranormal to the extraordinary, from the weird to the wonderful, this is On the Odd.
Hello and good evening. My name is Mark. I'm talking with Alex tonight. How are you, Alex?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's a rainy evening here on Long Island. How's the weather over near you?
It's bright and sunny here in Astoria.
It's funny because
Especially
you're
'cause it's
only 40
11:30
minutes
night.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Now we're getting that light that stays on, 24-hour light from like the northern hemisphere. I don't know why. That's odd, isn't it?
It is odd. Well, thank you very much for listening. No, Alex and I kind of jumped on Skype out of nowhere. We're always sending back and forth a lot of different stories and different findings. And, there's been a couple of UFO sightings that I think that are, I'm not going to say are genuine, but I think for the most part they're notable.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the triangular UFO?
Recently, no, but you told me
I don't know
about
if I
this.
sent you that one, but you did send me a feed from the NASA station, like where they're at the NASA space station.
Yeah, I did. This was actually in mainstream news. It was on what was it? Where did I find it? I don't know how mainstream this is. Inquisitor?
Well, the story is probably not that mainstream, but the source of it actually comes from NASA, and I see what they're talking about. I just don't see it as being anything more than some anomaly. Anomaly? Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, what we're talking about is...
Actually, you know what? When you do bring it up, it does look interesting. I'm on a different monitor now. I'm looking on a big Samsung monitor that is a little bit better resolution.
Now, what would make you rule this out as being a reflection of light or some kind of distortion from the lens?
What would make me rule that out?
Yeah, why or not rule that? Like, what makes you think it isn't just a reflection of some kind?
Well, what would it be reflecting from? Do you mean it's like a light refraction, like in the lens?
Yeah.
This is not a lens anomaly. I cannot speak. You probably have a very good monitor. Have you looked at this full screen in HD and freeze framed it?
Let me do that. Let's see.
At I think it's exactly at 150. It's really interesting. I didn't notice this before, but it appears to have 3 sections. And if you look to the left, it's a little bit lighter. And the thing that's interesting about this, I'll just explain what we're looking at. It's the astronauts basically doing some form of routine upgrade or maintenance on the space station. And they go through probably, how many cameras? Like 4 or 5 cameras?
Yeah, there are a lot of cameras.
These are stationary cameras. So we go back and forth to the different parts of the space station. And they show this scene earlier, and there's nothing there. Then they come here, and it's there.
Mm-hmm.
What would have moved to even create a reflection? Because, again, the camera's stationary. And the guy isn't really moving. He's just he's moving very slowly and
don't forget they're moving at incredibly high velocity. So
yeah, but they don't feel that.
No, they don't feel it. But they're in orbit. So if you look at the video, you could see just how quickly they're passing over Earth.
Oh, that's a good point.
10 or 15,000 miles an hour. So I'm just saying that it's not static. We're looking at we're looking at dynamic activity, and I'm not saying that it doesn't look odd. It's of interest, but to me, it's surprising that they're not looking into other possibilities of what this could be. It could even be some kind of debris of some kind.
I don't think there's any debris that big out there.
Yeah.
Or that close to our
it could
space
be
station.
It could be far away. Some people actually in the article
to be pretty big.
Yes, I think there was some speculation that it could be another satellite or something, but it definitely looks like a disk. It doesn't look like a satellite. Satellites have a distinctive kind of look.
Do you have it open now?
Yeah, now I'm in full screen.
And do you see to the left of it, it's and even to the length, like if you can just double the length of it, it appears to have a little bit of a light section.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know if you see what I'm seeing. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's even if it ended up being something, we'll never know. But if you were to go to another section, like at 43 seconds, and blow that up, you will see that there's nothing there. It's just total darkness. I find that strange.
True. It is true.
Anyway, we're never going to know. I mean, also when they're talking, you see there are digital artifacts being thrown around, interference from the radio waves.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting. You can see the Earth actually moving, which is crazy.
Are there any? I'm wondering if there could be a video artifact, as you just said, in the transmission of the video.
I don't think this is an artifact, and the reason why I say that is because if you look around the actual shape of whatever is there, it's soft. It's not sharp. An artifact would be embedded into the media in a very, I guess, organic or digital way. Just like in digital audio, if you have an artifact, it's apparent. It's not like you're going to get like tape hiss.
It's also, it actually does have the shape of an object.
So yeah,
and it's also the color of it. It's not white. It's kind of an off-white.
Yeah, I think that's a nice find. I think that
Oh, and now come to think of it, I do see an alien flying it.
Hey, I see a McDonald's sign.
Well, it was kind of cool. Cool to talk about.
I was looking at the different comments on YouTube, which is always a hotbed for discussion.
Right.
The level of intelligence that exists on YouTube. And I found somebody kept on mentioning a TR-3B. Like, it looks like a TR-3B, whatever.
Yeah, I have one in my backyard.
Yeah. And basically what it is an anti-gravity spacecraft that's made by the military. And, we have a link to it. It doesn't... whoops. It supposedly does not officially exist. But it's known, it's a theory, and therefore it's probably in existence.
Yeah.
It's part of like Project Bluebeam, like it's kind of popped up with that. And
that makes me wonder if the triangular, because this is triangular, it makes me wonder if the sightings that were so common in the 90s in the New York State, upstate New York area, if maybe these people were seeing something like this. But, from what I have a firsthand account from a family friend who was a witness to the giant triangular UFO that so many people saw around that time. And he said people pulled off the side of the road. He said this thing was the size of like 10 football fields. It was huge.
Wait, is this the one where the guy was in a university and he saw it?
No. That was someone who was at a school in Colorado. This is a guy who was driving with his wife who's passed, and they were driving on the Taconic, and it was at night, and they saw people pull over the side of the road, and they pulled over, and everyone was looking up, and there was this incredibly huge vessel in the air, and it was triangular. It was just, it covered a big part of the this what they could see in the sky, and it was silent. I don't know. I mean, this is what a lot of people claim to have seen. No, and it is triangular, and you're pointing out this TR-3B thing that's triangular.
Now, I have other footage of a triangular, I'm going to call it a UFO at the moment. I just have to grab you a link, but the story with this is in Charlotte. Somebody filmed this, and the thing that's interesting about it is, for one, it's very, very sharp. Like this, it's like the first time I'm seeing something that looks really legit. And they're trying really hard to debunk it, which I thought was kind of strange. I just sent you the message.
Okay.
And it's thing is that he's not too far from a football stadium where they supposedly had airplanes doing flyovers. The thing is that if you look at his video, it does not look at all like a plane flying. It's really just hovering, and it's a really interesting looking triangular thing. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's almost like a ton of fireworks going off on a triangle.
Yeah.
Did you get the link?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of I'm getting some slowness in my internet right now.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go up to 30 seconds, that's about where you'll see, and he's basically walking his dog, and then they show a clip of the video. I'd like to find an actual source for his video. I can't seem to find it.
You're saying go about 30 seconds in?
Yeah, 30 seconds in, and they'll start showing you a few little clips. But it seems like NBC is trying really hard to debunk this. It's almost as though they know something we don't. And this could be an actual test flight for the I'm forgetting the name of it. The TR-3B.
It could be.
And this could be a way that they cover it up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in now. I'm gonna go 30 seconds in and look.
Yeah, so I want your opinion on it.
So it's at night, and
you know how YouTube always gives you interesting suggestions on the bottom?
Okay. All right, now it's looking like the video is not the right video. Let me see. I'm getting a man walking his pit bull.
Yes, that's it. It's a news. Yeah.
Okay, so go 30 seconds in?
Yeah, about 30 seconds in.
And what do you see 30 seconds in?
30 seconds in, he's walking his dog.
Okay. And then what?
And just play it like from there.
Oh, there. Okay.
From that point.
Yeah, I saw it for a second. That it didn't look like an airplane or a helicopter.
Right, and they go back to it a couple times. I think it's a real interesting piece. I'd like to find the full file. I'll try to dig around and see if I can find it.
That's a good sighting. That's kind of odd looking.
Yeah,
especially because it's bright enough that you could see the contour
and
of the shape of it.
Yeah, and it's actually in focus, which kind of blows me away.
It was in focus. Yeah.
You know how like YouTube will always kind of give you suggestions based upon what you're watching?
Yeah.
It's funny, they have dramatic UFO video and UFO sighting, then they have the Beach Boys Pet Sounds full album. I am a big Beach Boys fan, and that is one of my favorite albums. I
wonder why.
That is just kind of funny that that YouTube would want to throw at me a full album to listen to for free. You know, it's interesting. The people post these albums, and they're beautiful, like vinyl renditions. I mean, not renditions, but vinyl transfers.
I know. I noticed people are doing that.
And It's really interesting. You don't have to buy music, really, if you don't want to anymore.
I know, and then there are engines like Spotify and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Stream.
So, with Halloween approaching, there's a lot of strange stuff in the air, a lot of strange activity and everything. And I had a very scary thing happen the other night. And I'm not going to say it was necessarily paranormal, but I will say it definitely unhinged me. And it made me afraid to watch one of the movies that I had to watch for my other podcast, VHS Rewind.
Which movie was this?
The Omen.
Yeah. Okay.
Ironically enough. The way my house is set up is we have a very long kitchen. If you walk through the kitchen, you walk into a back room, which is a den.
Okay.
And that's where I would watch The Omen, So when I walk into the kitchen, above my stove, we have a microwave, like one of those mounted microwaves with the light on it, and I have a timer on it. So it's on from like maybe 9 p.m. until 1 a.m., something like that. So I walk in, and to my right, I see one of my cabinets. They have glass see-through, so you can see the glasses inside. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say it's slammed closed, but it just kind of it closed. I heard if you let go of these, they kind of automatically close, and they make a little bit of a bump sound, like you can it's hard. You know what I mean? You've closed a cabinet before.
No, I never have. I never have, but I can imagine.
And at the exact same moment to my left, I hear the sound of my microwave door closing. Okay. Now, no one else is around. And if my microwave door was open, the light would be on.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for it to close on its own. And, it was just a very strange and... nothing else happened. Nothing else happened prior to this. I don't think I was thinking about anything except for I'm going to go in the den and watch The Omen. And I texted you about it. I even took a picture of the cabinet, and I've even tried opening the cabinet to see if I left it open accidentally, would it stay open? And they don't stay open. They're made in a way that they're tilted so that if you can't like accidentally leave them open.
So you are saying that you just you heard the sound in the cabinet closing.
I saw the one on the right. This is what I think happened. I walked into my kitchen, and in the corner of my eye, I saw and mostly heard the cabinet to my right, and then a split second later, to my left, I heard the microwave door close. Like, it makes that chunk chunk like it's engaged.
Oh, you heard? Okay, I got confused.
It's the microwave to the left and right. I heard
microwave door closed. The cabinet, you thought you saw it move.
Yeah, like you ever heard just a part like a house settle, and it'll just make a loud sound out of nowhere?
Yeah.
It was like that, except it was definitely, without a doubt, the sound of the microwave closing. So I heard the
which was more. You think
the two together was very unsettling.
But what was more convincing as something that what's more likely that happened?
The cabinet. The cabinet is probably most likely that you could probably debunk somewhere. But the microwave thing makes zero sense because it's always closed.
No, but it's fascinating that two things happened at the same time.
Right.
I mean, that's a poltergeist. That's an energy.
Keep in mind, in my den also, it's all I'll map it out. There's a vaulted ceiling. It's like maybe 15-foot ceiling. It's a very tall thing. And to the right, there's no wall. It's all windows. Like it's all floor to ceiling, like windows. Like I can't.
In your den?
In my den. So when you're looking, you can look outside and you can see the whole yard type of thing. And in the back door, it's a double sliding door. So you can see through that as well. Mm-hmm. And outside is just pitch dark. Wow. As dark as can be. This is my creepy backyard. My dog was nowhere to be found, of course. Not that my 8-pound Maltese is going to do much, but it would be interesting to see if he would have reacted to any of these sounds. Because
So this is kind of like, I thought you said when you first moved into the house, there were some noises from the basement or something.
You know what? There still are noises, but I'm really chalking that up to the house just being 90 years old.
Right.
There are some things that I think you just have to say, it's a 90-year-old house. It's mostly wood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just finished working on my basement. I think I told you we had a little bit of a leak, so we had to tear apart the downstairs, and we brought the downstairs to the concrete because it's a finished basement.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just very strange to see the concrete foundation because none of it's exposed in my house.
Maybe when you did that, you unearthed some activity. And
I mean, the thing that's interesting about that is, now that I think about it, is right above where we tore that out is that area, sort of. Like maybe 2 feet from that area.
Oh.
Because the leak was from the kitchen sink.
Huh.
And we had to actually remove a lot of the original plaster in order to get to the plumbing so that we could replace it correctly. We didn't want to do a hack job.
That makes it more interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely strange.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but I'm not really sure. But today, I should go down there and see if anything happens today, because we sealed up the walls. We put in new insulation and put drywall up.
If it happens again, anything, you have to consider putting in a camera overnight.
I should just do that anyway. I mean, I have the GoPro. I should just.
The problem is, how do you look at the footage? How are you going to look at 7 or 8 hours of footage?
High speed.
You just high speed through it and see if there's anything.
And if you can look at the audio file in the waveform.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. So if you see
some type of
peak
anomaly.
in the audio.
Yeah. Anomaly is my word of the day that I can't say.
Anomaly.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe there's something going on in your house.
But nothing else happened. It didn't get followed up by anything.
But that is poltergeist. Do you know that? I mean,
the microwave is new too. The microwave we just put in maybe 2 weeks ago. We replaced the old one.
Yeah.
The old one was about 10 years old, and we bought the brand new version because there were stress cracks on the outside of the microwave from us, from the previous owners, I guess slamming it or something. They just wear out. So we bought the same exact one and we put it in there. So, but we've used the microwave. It's not like we've never used the microwave. We don't know how to close the door.
I don't understand how it could close on its own.
It's almost like if you were to hold it, when you close it, it kind of has that thing where if you were to let go of it, it would just slam on a microwave. It's almost like that sound. So I tried to recreate it to see if I could actually get the door to stay in a position, and I couldn't. It either will open up and the light is on, or it just will close. There's no in between.
Okay, so the microwave door, you're saying if you do open it, it will actually close itself and make that thump.
Until it engages, the light is on. Right. Until it's actually, you get that sound.
And it will do that on its own without you pushing it.
Yeah, it'll let it go right off as soon as you close the door.
No, I mean, the door, this is what I'm saying, the door itself, like, how if you open a refrigerator door or some appliances, it's on an angle, the lever, so it will slowly close itself.
No, the microwave will open. If I were to pull the microwave open and just let go of the door, it would swing open, actually.
It would swing open, actually.
I'd have to test that.
It definitely won't close itself, right?
It will not. It will not close to the point where where the light would go off. The light would stay on.
Yeah, and you have to really push hard to close the microwave door.
Yeah, you have to really engage it. You have to really.
And that's the sound you heard of it pushing hard.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, I think something happened, Mark.
I think so too, but I don't feel threatened.
You said you only had 6 beers?
16.
Oh, 16 beers.
Yes.
Okay. That might throw a little monkey wrench.
I tell you, I was nervous enough. I should have had a beer after that. I really was. I was very.
It was at night, right?
Yeah, it was like at 11:30 at night.
Well, keep documenting. You might even want to do an EVP there.
Maybe while I'm frying up an egg.
I think you're actually a little. You're unnerved. You're actually a little.
No, you know what?
Shaken.
I would hope that it would. You know, you always hear about these experiences with. You turn around and all of a sudden all the drawers are open and it's a big mess, and then you turn around and it's all back to normal, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, all right, did something like that just happen?
Yeah.
Not totally sure.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of people have activity in their houses and apartments, and they discount it or they forget about it.
Well, I just want to make a notation right there that about 4 seconds ago,
yeah,
in my right ear, I just heard like this.
Really?
No, I just heard it again. Wait. Forget it. No. It's a train in the distance. It's a long.
Okay. You thought as we were talking,
my microphone must have picked it up in a weird way, and that's just bizarre. All right, you might even hear it.
Okay. There was one other story I was going to tell before we go. I'm going to just summarize it, but it was one of these stories of coincidence that seems almost incredible, the odds of happening. It's when I texted you the other day when I was on the bus.
Yes, this is a pretty good story, I think.
It's just interesting. I was
Well, you know what? It happens so often to you that these like coincidental games where things just seem to line up. So
I know. I know.
I mean, we're talking about a random world.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Tell me the story because it's...
No, it was simply that I was going to I'm playing some shows with the band, and I was heading down to Philly on a bus, and this guy comes on the bus, and I'm not sure if he actually worked for Bulk Bus, that's the company, because he was assessing some of the seats or something. I'm not sure if he was looking at where the seats were because his friend was meeting him, or if he was actually working for the company.
How did you know his friend was meeting him?
Oh, later on his phone call.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he sits down. I'm on the aisle, and he's right next to me on the aisle as well. Okay, so like 1.5 feet away from me.
Yeah.
And he's talking on his cell phone. And this is like right before the bus is pulling out. And then he was even talking as the bus continued on. Even as it was going through the Lincoln Tunnel. Apparently you could talk on your cell phone even in the Lincoln Tunnel. So
I didn't know that.
Yep. And so I wasn't listening to his conversation.
Maybe
but
he actually wasn't talking to anyone.
Yeah, this was a complete stranger. And no connection to me whatsoever. And no connection to these names I'm about to mention. The first thing he does is he mentions... I hear him say the name Keith. Keith is the band leader of the band I was going to meet in Philadelphia. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, nothing. I just thought that was funny because, I was just texting Keith. And then a moment later, he's talking to this person and he mentions someone named Ben. And Ben is the second band member of the band that I was playing with, who I was going to meet. I was going to meet Keith and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, all right, that's kind of odd because here I am going to meet Keith and Ben.
At this point, it's a fun coincidence.
Yeah, it was a fun coincidence. And clearly there was a different context to these people. He was talking, this Keith guy was supposed to meet him, but he was in Harlem and he didn't make the bus. A Ben guy was some other friend of theirs. Then... I mean, this is what got me. He says Alex, which is my name.
Right.
And I thought, wow. I mean, these are not exactly commonplace names. It's not like John, Bill, and
well, they're not totally uncommon names. But to take those three names and throw them out just like that, it's not Alexander, it's Alex. It's not Daniel, it's Dan.
Yeah, and it was, he clearly said those names because I heard him say it more than once. So it struck me as a little odd that the exact time that I'm going to meet Keith and Ben, and my name is Alex, that he just happened to be sitting right next to me and was on the phone talking about these people.
I remember you texted me about it, and I said, ask him what his name is. Maybe it's Mark, you know.
No, that would have been weird.
Or whoever.
That's all it was. It was just a story of coincidence. But
in Japan, you had a similar incident.
Oh, yeah. The Japanese thing was
with the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah. And we were looking for a sign. And that was a hotel. That's a previous episode we did, which our listeners can go back and listen to if you want. It's called Japanese Haunted Hotel or something.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But anyway, it's interesting, and a lot of people have this stuff happen.
Well, and I kind of fall into the philosophies of I don't believe in coincidences. I think that everything happens for some level of a reason. And when certain names are just thrown out there like that, there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah. Maybe
it's to just kind of get yourself to be more aware of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
All right. Well, it was interesting.
I would love to know the guy's name, though.
I don't know why I didn't feel comfortable enough to start talking.
You said, I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah, I was just...
Yeah, because then you get into a conversation with a complete stranger.
Yeah, it would have been kind of weird. Awkward, you know.
Now you will never know.
I'll never know.
His name could have been Yoki. That's my dog. That's my dog.
That would have been interesting.
But all right, man. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come on here. I know you're tired from the
thank you too.
Touring around the East Coast of the United States.
Right. Well, you've been you
I've been doing drywall. That's what I've been.
Is that what you've been doing? Drywall?
I've been doing light construction today.
I might need a wall put up. I might.
Oh yeah?
I'm kidding.
There's this place called the Yellow Pages that you should look up. It was very cheap to do it yourself.
It's a lot of work though.
It's not as much work as I thought. You kind of want a car because
where's the wall going?
In my basement, because I had to tear down the wall in order to get to the
because of the leak, yeah.
Because of the leak. So basically, I just had to buy insulation today, put in insulation, and put up the wall.
Did you see any weird insects?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I sprayed this amazing stuff. If you ever have mold or you want to kill mold, it's some microbial type of thing. It's odorless and
what's it called?
It's clear. I think it's called microbium.
Okay.
And it's relatively cheap. It's about $10 for a big bottle of it. And you literally just spray it on top of mold, let it dry. It dries to like a white haze because there's a salt compound to it.
Is it safe to breathe in?
Yeah, there's no odor actually, but it's very safe, like around kids and animals and
All right, because I just did a search for microbium. It's not coming up, but
I'll get the exact. It's a Home Depot.
Because now we teased our listeners into this, so they should know.
Yes,
I'll post it in the show notes. It's so odd.
No, it is.
It is actually odd that it could actually. It might be an enzyme too.
It's concrobium.
Okay.
Concrobium.
Okay.
And I bought the 32-ounce spray bottle, and the thing is, we found like a little bit of mold back there. Nothing like to really be concerned about. All the real mold we removed and threw away. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about this is a permanent solution. When you spray it, there's a salt compound, so the salt holds and covers the mold and just kills it forever.
That's kind of amazing. All right.
So this episode of On the Odd is sponsored by Concrobium.
Yeah, we need to get a little payback from them.
You can find Concrobium at Lowe's, Home Depot, and Target.
All right.
Use the special code ODD to save 20% off your order. Yeah, we
All
do
right.
need a kickback. That stuff is pretty good. It's great because you just spray it and let it dry. All right, man. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you too. Goodbye.